Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be discussing Love and Marriage Huntsville. Actually this is season 2, I think episode 12. I know last week I said season 3, but I'll be doing this weird thing with their seasons. I get confused. Y'all, if you're watching, you already know what it is. I'll make sure it's right in the title. Y'all, I just got done watching this, and Marcel done aggravated my spirit so that I'm going to try my hardest not to go off on him. But I can't make any guarantees, okay? Before we get into it, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any more of my videos. And normally I go live for this, but I just did not feel like it today. This is going to be a one take thing, and it's going to be up on the YouTube because, honey, they done pissed me off. All right, so the episode starts off with the Scotts going out to their 10 acres of land that they want to make Scott Manor. They want to develop it, and they were sitting out there talking with some of the young boys of the family and just really trying to emphasize legacy and wanting to build a legacy for their family. Now, mind you, them kids was not here for it. They didn't care nothing about what was going on, but I completely understand how Marcel and Maurice felt about it. I think that is a great thing. I think a lot of times us in the black community don't think like that when it comes to building acreage. I will say, for my family, my mom's dad's side of the family owns like a quite a few acres, or they owned quite a few acres. It was probably about between 10 and 20 acres in Georgia, from when like my mom was a child. And since then, land had been sold, land had been acquired from other things, and I just feel like it's important to make sure that you have your own within your family, because there are other people, y'all know what I'm saying, that have that type of land and that type of wealth, and we just don't think about that. So I enjoyed that scene. Then we see Mel visiting a new house with Destiny. She's trying to get her own place, to branch off, do her own thing. And Mel said, she's ready to upgrade her everything. Just because she left her husband does not mean that she needs to downgrade, honey. She's trying to upgrade in every way, and I am completely here for that, honey. You need to upgrade because what you had wasn't about nothing, so I hope you get something that's about something. And while they're there, Destiny go ahead and tells her about how Martell stopped by and he was accusing her of cheating, because y'all remember last episode, Martell was going around to anybody that would listen and try to besmirch Melody's name because he's a witch with a capital B. And I also want to say about this scene that Mel is looking good, okay? Mel is on her glow up, and I'm here for it. And let me say this too. If y'all watch my other reviews from like the first part of season 2, you already know that I'm not like this huge Melody fan. Like, let's not get it twisted. I'm not like a huge Melody fan. However, I respect Melody. I respect her grind. And I think that she looks good. And once she flourishes without Martell, she's going to be even better. She's like, what, 36? Like, girl, you finna be on it. Okay, so across town we see Letitia going to visit Kimmy. They're going to go to the back porch and have a little lemonade. Letitia requests some lemonade with some tequila, honey, because she done left her 3 kids at the house, so she's trying to relax. I'm here for it. And Kimmy basically says, so they start talking about, the panoramic and how Kimmy is a frontline worker. And Tisha feels like, oh, well, Kimmy, you don't have any small children, so when you get off of work, you just get to come home and take a shower and relax. And Kimmy's like, no, like, I'm married to a Scott man as well, honey. Even though he might not be as misogynistic as Marcel, please believe he has misogynistic tendencies, and he feels like the women should be doing everything from the cooking to the cleaning to the everything. So, baby, I don't get a chance to relax. And I want to make a point to say that I know, like, we all give Marcel his flowers because in the scheme of these men, Marcel was definitely the best man from these three. However, I'm glad that Kimmy's making it clear, like, me and Maurice still butt heads. Did I say Marcel was the best? Because I hope I didn't, because he's not. Maurice. Her and Maurice still butt heads. You know what I'm saying? Like, he still has those ways. And I kind of see them a little bit later in the episode, but we'll get into it. So as they're discussing, Tisha brings up the Scott Manor and how she's super excited. She wants to build property on that land, and she wants all of them to be there together. It's 10 acres. They don't have to be like right up under each other, but she wants them to be like on the same land. And Kimmy expresses her hesitance, and I say hesitance, but her really her not wanting to do that. She says, she likes her privacy, she likes her own time. And while Tisha is trying to like convince her, like, oh well, we can just set up some parameters about when to come to the house and all of that, Kimmy is not here for it. And so it kind of switches into Tisha talking about Marcel visiting and how he was kind of blaming everything on Melody, but some kind of way Marcel and Marceau ended up like kind of burying the hatchet and kind of getting on a good term. So Kimmy uses this time to be like, oh well, if they can kind of get over it, I'm sure that you and Melody can get over it. And Tisha makes it clear that she does not want to get over it with Melody because Melody is a mean girl, says Tisha. And she feels like Kimmy does not have her back, and she wants Kimmy on her side. And what I'm going to say about this is, at the end of the day, Tisha, you are acting really, really, really high school about it. Like, if you're my friend, you can't be her friend. Like, these are grown women. You know what I'm saying? And so just because you don't deal with her, that's fine. You have to deal with her. But you can't sit up here and try to guilt trip Kimmy into stopping from being her friend, especially when her and Kimmy have not had any type of falling out. And so Kimmy actually is feeling a way that Tisha keeps bringing this up, and we see that later in the episode. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it. Later in the episode, we see Kimmy and Maurice like meet up, and they were talking about a few different things, but one of the things that came up in that conversation was that she feels like she has to continue to validate her relationship with Tisha because Tisha feels like she's not being loyal. And what is this sense of loyalty that you're asking for? She's not treating you any different. She's not talking bad about you to Melody. She's not choosing to be around Melody more than you. So what is this loyalty that you're asking for, Tisha? And I really think that Tisha needs to grow the F up. Seriously, like, honestly, like, that's what I think. I think she just needs to grow up. All right, so, and I'll finish talking about what else happened in that scene a little bit later, but I just wanted to say that while I was thinking about it. So Melody is packing and her mom comes over to visit. We see her mom has a confessional outfit. Her mom looks nice. And basically they're talking about Marcel and how, at this point Mel is done. She's over the relationship. There's nothing left for her. And Marcel is still trying to manipulate his way. I'm gonna say it like that. Manipulate his way back into the relationship. So Melody at this point is honestly over the relationship. Marcel is trying to, say that he wants his relationship, and Mel realizes that he is going to be mourning their relationship, the family, and all of that. And her mom expresses that honestly she has lost respect for Marcel. She's upset about what happened. And what do you expect? You have legit destroyed your family. What do you expect to happen at this point? So that was that scene. Then we go and we see Marcel meeting up with I guess his real estate broker who's also a friend, and they're talking about the 47 acres that they bought at the beginning of like the show when they were talking about doing the comeback group. And Martell wants to be the face of this endeavor. He wants to call it Holt Manor. And once they start developing everything, he says that he wants to add Marcel into as the general contractor. So the broker is like, are you sure about that? Like, literally, how many months ago, not even a year ago, you were just besmirching Marcel's name and everything and talking about if people work with him, they didn't need to work with you and all this kind of stuff. But now all of a sudden, because you and Mel have officially fallen out, now you want to add Marcel into this business dealing. And the broker lets him know that your controversy has caused the investors to not to want to pull out. They don't want to deal with you. You're messy. You're messy. And see, what I don't think Martell understands, let me say this too. What I don't think Martell understands is that a lot of the notoriety and a lot of the respect that he was gaining from the community was that he seemed to be an upstanding family man, and the relationship that he had with Melody. And what Martell doesn't realize is all of your dirt has played out in the public eye, and you're damaged goods now. The Bible says, he that finds a wife finds a good thing. And you just messed over your wife. You just showed that you are someone with no moral fiber, and you can't be trusted. Because if you can turn on your wife, the mother of your 4 children, like this, why would I think I would want to get into business with you and think you won't do the same or worse for me over money? You get what I'm saying? And Martell is like, I don't understand. He's supposed to be my friend. I don't know why he's, giving up so easy. Because Martell, you're messy. Period. You're messy. And at the end of the day, Martell's friend, the broker, he just looks over Martell and his shenanigans. He looks like he's over it, and I'm with him, okay? And during this conversation, Martell brings up that he wants full custody because he's petty as hell. Moving on. So then we see Tisha and Marcel at their little office building, and Tisha is expressing to Marcel about how she just needs reassurance. Just like she needs reassurance from him in that he loves her, she wants reassurance from Kimmy that she's her friend and that she's on her side. And again, I'm going to say, I don't agree. Tisha, you ought to have all the reassurance you need because these people are still fooling with you. And I need you to be able to stand up in your own. So while they're having this conversation, Wanda walks in, and Marcel is instantly triggered. The way Marcel responds to Wanda is problematic, to say the least. That could not be my husband responding to my mom or talking about my mom in his confessionals or anything like that. Because regardless of whatever it is that you don't like about Miss Wanda and all that stuff, and don't get me wrong, I don't think Miss Wanda's right about a lot of things. There has to be some level of respect, and there is no level of respect between Wanda and Marcel or vice versa, and you can see it in how they interact, and that would bother me. I like the interaction that they had in this scene where basically Marcel was calling Wanda out for dating, even though technically Wanda is still married. Wanda said that she has been separated from her husband for 5 years. She still wears a wedding ring, but they're separated. They have not been divorced. And so the way that Marcel kept on coming at her, I would not be comfortable with that. Whether I agree with him or not, what you're not going to do is sit up here and call my mama out on camera. Okay? That's it. But Wanda say, baby, I don't care nothing about what Marcel was saying. Wanda's got a man at home. She said she dating, honey. She got a man. And it don't matter if she's married or not. She needs to get a divorce. But she gonna keep doing what she need to do. And so Wanda ends up bringing up the Holtz, and they don't really want to discuss the Holtz. And they even, Marcel, I think, even says like, "So you're being messy," and Wanda's like, "I'm not messy. I'm just nosy." Wanda, baby, I like the differentiation, but you're confused because you're messy. I'm nosy. You're messy. Okay, so then we get to the scene where I was talking about earlier, where Kimmy was talking to Maurice, and during this conversation, some more things that they talked about was that Kimmy does not want to build on Scott Manor. Why everybody got a manor, I don't know, but she does not want to build on that land. She says that she's made it very clear, and we can see in this scene again what I was talking about, where Maurice and Marcel are more alike than people want to say, because Maurice is trying to act oblivious like he has never heard this. Kimmy does not take me as the person to bite her tongue or to sugarcoat. She lets you know how she feels. She lets you know in a way that's not going to belittle you, but she lets you know. And during this whole conversation, Kimmy was trying not to be problematic, and you could tell in her tone, in her demeanor, in her face, like you could tell she was trying to not be problematic, but she was letting it be clear. What I don't want to do is move onto this property. Why I don't want to do this is because of this, that, and the third. And so then she gets on, because after she talks about how Tisha is like, weary about her still being friends with the Holtz, she gets on to this party that she's throwing for her son. I think her son's name is Jalen. And how she's throwing this party for him. He's graduated college. But she doesn't want to be messy. She wants to invite everybody because she's still friends with everybody. But she does not want it to cause a whole bunch of drama. And I completely understand where she's coming from. It's like a rock and a hard place. Because, okay, if you invite Melody, then now it's like, oh my gosh, you're not thinking about me. This is what Tisha would say. Oh my God, you're not thinking about me. You're supposed to be on my side. But then if you invite Marcel, now Melody feels away. So it is a very tough spot to be in. But I do believe that because they're on this show, they all need to realize that you're going to be in close proximity to each other. That's just what's going to happen. That's the nature of being on reality TV. So I don't think that her motives are dirty or wrong, but it is going to cause some drama, and we're going to see it in this episode. And while she's talking about, the like pickle that she's in about this party, Kimmy and Maurice start to discuss Jalen and him working, and how he's working in a job that he doesn't necessarily want to work in, because he really wants to go more into like the investment side of real estate. And her and Maurice bump heads. And Maurice, I'm going to say this. Kimmy is really accommodating with you. She really does. She really takes her time to acknowledge your feelings and to let you lead and be the husband and be, masculine and all of those things. But when it comes to her parenting her son, you have no say in that. Like she's been his parent for 20 plus years alone. You have no say in that. And you could tell that when he started trying to push back on, well, why is he working there? That's not what he wants to do. And Kimmy let it be known, I'm teaching my son work ethic. He's not just going to be sitting around the house. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that she's completely right. Until you can get your business where you want your business to be, especially as a man, you need to be making some income. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she's right in that, and that's the way that she chooses to parent. And Maurice, and like she said, Mr. Entrepreneur, that's not for you to overstep your boundaries in. She can't come and overstep her boundaries in how you and your ex-wife parent Monster. So it's not for you to overstep your boundaries with him. At the end of the day, if you want him to be in the field that he wants to be in, you're in real estate. You know what I'm saying? Give him a job at your company if that's how you feel. Show some nepotism if that's how you feel. The last thing we get is Melody at her new house outside playing with the kids. It's a cute little scene. And then Marcel pulls up. Marcel pulled up to start some ish. He pulled up ready to start some junk. You knew he was ready because he was the one that told the kids to go inside. Go ahead and go inside, kids, because your mama finna start fussing. You know, if you know that what you're saying is a hot button, why continue to do it? Because you're trying to be messy. Look. I don't even remember how the conversation got popped off into a negative light. I'm gonna tell you this. Number one, I understand you wanting to be in your kid's life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you and this woman are going through a divorce, so there are boundaries. Number one boundary: you can see your kids. Call somebody. Give them a heads up. Marcel is so manipulative, and Melody even says this. He's so manipulative. He's so messy. He's so miserable of a person because it's like, I want to fuck with somebody today. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the energy that he gives off. And when he comes up there and he's trying to be so cool, calm, and collected and say things that he knows are a trigger. And this is why it aggravates me, because he has been in this marriage with this woman for how many years at this point? They've been together since college. They're in their 30s. They've been together since college, which means you know what her buttons are. And he intentionally pushes them. Intentionally. And I do wish that Melody could just rise above it and just not let him play her like he does, because at this point all Marcel wants is a reaction. He doesn't care what kind of reaction it is. He realizes that I can't get a positive reaction from you when I'm trying to be loving and you know, spray all my charm. I realize I can't get a reaction from you that way. So I'm going to get a reaction the way that I know I can, which is anger. And I wish that Melody could be above it, but I don't blame her, because I don't know if I am that evolved to be above it. I am a cool, calm, collected person. I know I get hype on these videos, but in real life, I am a cool, calm, collected person. But the way that he prods at her and pushes her buttons, it sets me off, and I'm not in it. So I can only imagine how much more she gets set off, to the point where the producers are on the screen now. Fourth wall where? Fourth wall who? You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame her. His sole purpose for coming over there during that scene was to piss Melody off. And again, try to bring up this alleged affair that she's had. Pot. What you will not do is call the kettle black, sir. I don't care if Melody was out here bouncing on every peen from Alabama to Georgia. I truly do not care. You have had the same side chick, mistress, jump off, whatever you want to call her, who now has your child for the past 5 years. Don't sit up here and tell me that she was the reason why you started cheating. She wasn't. No, there is no excuse once you take those vows. Stop trying to blame it on her. And anyone with common sense can see straight through it. Marcel, I've said it before, I'll say it again, makes my ass itch. I'm tired of him. And I really would like for Melody to disengage. Y'all know, like on Salt Lake City, how Meredith walks away and disengages. I really would hope that Melody gets to that point where she just disengages. But with an asshole like Marcel, I know that it's hard to do. But anyway, you guys, that's it. I'm done ranting. Y'all, please tell me y'all thoughts on this video. Please do not forget to subscribe. Drop down in the comments and we can talk about it. We can rant. Don't forget to like this video, especially if you've made it all the way to the end. I really do appreciate y'all. And check out some of my past videos. And I'll see y'all in the next one.